Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of FSEconomy with me, Herd37. So I was looking around for some planes, and I thought we'd fly the Cessna T206H Stationair. This one's from Carenado. I actually just flew it. I've flown it once recently in an episode of Air Hauler 2. So I thought, heck, we've flown out a little bit, so let's go ahead and fly it some more. Because I need to get used to it, quite honestly. I'm not used to that aircraft at all. I just started flying it, really. And so I've got one here. I think it's Bucklin, or I was going to say Bucklin. It's Bucklin. It's 8K0, Bucklin, Kansas, over to KICT, that's Wichita, Kansas. I like the airport. We used to fly there. It was one of our bases in Air Hauler. I really loved flying the aircraft. I just noticed this, by the way. And we have two people. I should mention that. 509 pounds. There's actually 3 seats available. It actually holds 5 passengers, which I really like. Although I can't find, I looked for all these planes, and wherever they are, there's not enough jobs. A lot of these planes are out west, which was kind of odd to me. Montana, California, places like that. A lot in Montana for some reason. And we probably need some fuel. 16 gallons an hour. It currently has 10, so we're going to, need probably a little bit of fuel, so we'll go ahead and just fill it up a little bit. We only pay for the fuel that we're using, so I'm alright with that. Current fuel, 10 gallons. Let's put it up. Let's see, 450. It doesn't really matter because we only use what we use, or pay for what we use. So it's got 10. What does it use? 15 an hour. I was going to say we could fill it up to 30. That'll be alright. Alright. So as this is departing, let's go ahead and look over here at FS Commander. By the way, it is 105 miles. Bucklin, the weather, let's zoom out here, is coming from the south. I believe it was south-southwest. So we're going to take off on a runway 18 here. Heading of 183 degrees. This is a little airport. You can see grass strip. That'll be, well, that shouldn't be too bad, actually. And we'll fly over here to Wichita, where it's coming from the south-southeast. So we're going to land actually on runway 14, not the major runways. Heading 146 degrees. Airport elevation, 1,332 feet. I'm not quite sure how we should come in to an airport like this. Is obviously, when you come into something like Wichita, it's a big airport, so you'd be using ATC, but obviously we're not going to use that. So we'll just come in and we'll do our little traffic pattern. I'm not quite sure how to do that with a big airport like that. Obviously, you wouldn't be flying VFR into Wichita, but we're going to for this episode for our purposes. So, with that, I guess everything looks good. Well, we had 30 gallons, so I need to remember that. And let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. All right, everybody, here we are at our plane. T206 Stationair, 206H Stationair, but it's it from Cessna. Carenado makes this plane. All right, so let's go ahead here in FSEconomy and we'll go ahead and start this. That's a bunch of bullshit. I have it perfect, so we'll. I gotta tell you one thing. I was out of town. Right before I went out of town, I was going to fly the Caravan. It was a Canadian flight. And I was flying this thing, and I was like, probably 3/4 of the way there, and I looked over, and I realized I had never started recording. I wasn't recording my audio, the video, nothing. I was like, geez. So I started over. And it gets to this screen right here, and I thought I had clicked Ignore Loading. Apparently, I missed it, or I didn't click it, and so I flew all the way there, and then I'm waiting for FSEconomy to grab it, and it doesn't. I'm like, what the heck? So I go back here, and I saw I didn't hit Ignore Loading or whatever, so the damn flight didn't even count. I was like, yeah, screw this. Make sure, a little service note, make sure you hit that, or you could be pissed. I was like, I can't believe it. I flew that thing twice, man, twice, and it screwed it up. All right, so I just hopped in here, and I just realized this is obviously different. I flew it with the G1000 when I was doing my type rating. I jumped in this, and I noticed it was a little bit odd. It's a little bit different. I'm much higher up, which is odd. Some of the switches are moved down here now. All this is moved down here. It was over here at the side, and Yeah, this is it's different, so it may not. I wanted to get some more practice, but geez, this is weird as well. I don't know how much this is going to help. All right, so I have procedures for this. These are more real world, I guess, but I mean they're not official, but it's more for real world and not necessarily FSX. So, but we can do most of it, so it should be all right. All right, so the brakes that are set, control wheel lock removed, Hobbs meter, I don't know what that is. Avionics, or no, I'm sorry, ignition and avionics master is off. As you can see, that is off. Master switch, we can go ahead and turn that on. All right, fuel quantity check. So I don't know where everything is in this plane. So that's going to be a little different. It should be about 15 in each. That's what we got, 16, which is fine. We can deal with that. 16, 16, that's all right. Low fuel enunciators are off. I don't see anything about it there. I guess that's where they would be. Avionics cooling fan. Actually, we need to turn the avionics on right here. It says to listen for the fan. Obviously, we're not going to be able to hear that. Like I said, it's more real world, so I can't hear it. So, but we'll say that's good. All right, so the flaps, we need to go ahead and extend them. Static pressure alternate source is off. That's right here. Is pushed all the way in. Ooh. All right, so that's off. Enunciator panel. I don't know how we test all the lights, so we'll say that that's good. Fuel valve selector needs to be in both. There we go. So it's all the way up at both. Pitot heat, it says turn on for 30 seconds. Then you actually test for the heat. I don't know if you like hop out or what. But we'll say, I'm not actually going to do that. So we'll say that that's good. And now the master switch actually comes off. It doesn't say anything about turning on off the avionics, but I would imagine you got to turn that off as well. Like I said, it didn't actually say that. I'll turn it off just so everything's off. Alright, so all the circuit breakers, we'll say those are all pushed in. Avionics circuit breakers are pushed in as well. All the electrical equipment is off. And avionics master switch off. Maybe that's when you turn it off. And the cowl flaps will need to be open, so we'll put that all the way to the top. Fuel selector valve is in both. Engine start. Throttle about a 1/4 inch. I like to go a little more. Prop high RPM. Master switch, we can go ahead and turn that on. Let's go ahead and turn on our beacon as well. Mixture is in idle cutoff. Prop area is clear. Auxiliary fuel pump switch, we'll go ahead and turn that on. And we need to look for a rise in fuel flow here. Right here. Not really much of it's kind of odd because it worked in the other one with the G1000. I guess it did go down. Yeah, it does come up just a little bit. So now we'll cut that off. Fuel pump comes off. And we got to give her a little bit here on the mixer because we're going to start her up. Let's go ahead and start this thing up. Slowly. And it's actually said to take it to 1200 RPM and lean it out. There's just roughly at 1200. I'm going to put it to 60. And I think we need to actually bring the RPM a little down a little more. I know this one's very touchy. Give it just a little bit of throttle, so it doesn't go down too low. 1,000 or less usually. Flaps, we go ahead and retract those. Avionics master switch and all of the electronics can come on. Looks like everything is on there. Alright, and now we can go ahead and taxi over to our runway. Obviously, first we'll get on the... bring this up and tell everyone what we're doing. Let's see, select a runway for takeoff. Let me grab this here. There's runway 18. And announce our taxi to it.
Zero traffic, Cessna, November 5543 Bravo is taxiing to runway 18.
Brakes coming off. I'm going to have to push it back I'm afraid I'll hit that building. I don't know if I've got crash detection on or not. See, it feels like we're... I know we're a little too high, especially in this version. I didn't expect it to be so high, though. Okay, that's probably pretty good right there. Let's see, the heading is different in this plane as well. Like I said, the other one was the G1000. So let's turn that to 183. It feels a little more normal for me. Being in a small plane like this is more normal than having like the G1000 in a small plane. So it feels a little awkward when you're doing it the other way. 183. Alright, so let's check outside real quick. Alright, hopefully those spikes are gone now. That buffer pool seems to have done the trick. When you get in the plane, you originally are going to have them, which is normal, and you spin around a few times, and then it should take care of them. And it seems to have worked. So I'm very happy about that. So we got us a little runway over here. Before we get on it, we need to stop and we'll do our run up. We'll stop right here. Parking brake coming on. Alright, our before takeoff checklist brakes are set. Let's go ahead and turn on. I gotta get down here. That thing's gonna be in the way. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the nav lights and bring this back up because I think we're going to need that in a second. Yeah, seats and all the doors, everything, windows are all closed. So flight controls, free and correct. Let's make sure that's all good there. Rudder pedals, everything is good. Flight instruments, everything is checked. Directional gyro, compass, everything. Altimeter, let me go ahead and make sure this altimeter is set. Let's go ahead and turn on the transponder and put that to standby. I don't know where it is, to be quite honest. I guess that would be it. The VFR, is this not going to be operational? Let me check this. Put that on standby. This got subarray, so... Alright. That says flight time. I think that should be the standby, not this. So is that start and stop, actually. So this isn't actually... This is apparently not operational. I can hit altitude, but on and standby and off and all that, you can't actually hit. You can type stuff in. That's very odd. Wish they would have that working. GPS, autopilot, altitude indicator, everything. By the way, I think we're going to fly up to 5,500, so I'm just going to go ahead and set that. I haven't used the autopilot in this plane. I don't know if you can arm that or not. Just make sure and turn all this crap off so nothing's interfering. Alright, autopilot, we're not, like I said, we're not going to actually mess with that. We already checked the fuel quantity. Let's check again, 16 and 16. So that's all good. Auxiliary fuel pump is off. Mixture going to full rich here. And now we go up to 1800 RPM. It seems to come up slow. I don't know if that's like turbocharger or what. It's really low on the joystick. Alright, I'll set it right. That's just over 1800, I know. Check for the drop. Everything looks to be good on that. The mags. Alright, the prop here. We're going to cycle it. We'll just bring it down a little bit. I wish it would come back quicker with me. We'll say that's good. You don't want to bring it down too much. You can damage it. Damage the shaft. Alright. Manifold pressure is good. Oil pressure and oil temp are both good. Ammeter is charging. Annunciator panel, everything looks good. By the way, I'm going to turn it over to the GPS. And throttle 1,000 or less. Now wing flaps, we set those to 10. I'm going to go ahead and flip on our landing. That didn't turn on the taxi light, daggone it. Pitot heat, let's go ahead and turn on the strobes and the landing lights. Make the announcement. We're heading out to the east.
Kilo 0 traffic. Cessna
Come down here,
5543
because I needed to check.
Runway 18 east departure.
Alright, looks like we are clear. And just, I want to check this out. I want to make sure rotation, I believe it is 56 knots or 65 knots. Normal takeoff, full power, it says 2700 RPM. I rotate at 56 knots, and the climb out is 70 to 80. This thing is quite powerful. It was really only my second flight. I've used this plane barely before. Not enough to really know what the hell I was doing. So there's not a lot of confidence. I mean, not that I'm completely not confident I can fly her. It's just not going to be the most beautiful thing in the world. But see, it says 2700 RPM, but actually I'll check that here in a second. See, it actually goes over, and I'm at 50% on my joystick. So perhaps it was talking about the manifold pressure. I'm gonna push her here. Our airspeed's alive. We should be right at 56. So let's go ahead and rotate. We'll pull back on the power a little bit. Or it said climb out at 70 to 80 knots. So we're right on that. I'm gonna go ahead and retract the flaps. I really need to consult procedures here. I hate doing that with the one hand. En route climb, 90, let's see actually. Yep, everything is good there. En route climb, 95 to 105. Power 25 inches or less than 2500 RPM. See, the manifold pressure is just to the left of fuel flow. I'd point it out, but I can't. There. Manifold pressure is right there. That's right at 2500. 2500 RPM, so we're looking good there. Let's go ahead and turn to the left. The plane naturally wants to go left on its own. I found that out. You can't really get that airspeed, 95 to 105, though. It says lean it out to 20 gallons an hour. We're using less than that. We're right at 15. Alright, so I guess we can go nose down a little bit. Like I said, it's once 95 to 105 is... I find that... I mean, we're only climbing at 400 feet right now. I don't know how that can be. Straighten up just a little bit. Oh, I saw a little spike, but hopefully that's the last one we'll see of it. Let's look down here. Autopilot, flight director, yaw damper. Nav, I'm going to arm that for 5500. Vertical speed, I want that at 500 just to check it. Let's see what happens here. It says alert down there. I don't know if that's a good or bad. or anything. So right at 100 knots. Like I said, it wanted 95 to 105. So I guess that's not bad. I mean, because we can increase this. Let's see what happens at 700. I was thinking it didn't seem like that was much power. By the way, we need to go ahead and lean her out. We've actually climbed. I don't know what the elevation was. I'm surprised that we're already up to almost 5,000 feet. So that's at 70. Then we get up to our cruising altitude, which we're almost there at 5,500. You see, it says landing light verify off, but I think you have to leave that on. Although I guess that would be you're usually cruising over 10,000 feet. I guess this thing is pressurized. I think it's got the oxygen system and everything. Don't quote me on it being pressurized, but it sounded like it was. Then we'll bring our power down to 75% maximum. Throttle goes 15 to 25 inches and 2100 to 2500 RPM. So let's make sure she levels out here. It's dropping. So that's a good sign right there. All right, 5,500 on the RPM. So let's bring this back to 75. Well, I'm already at 59. How can it be 7,500 max? Or 75%? See, that takes it way too high. Let me see something. Yeah, 15 to 25 inches, but so right there is 25. I'll bring it back to about 23. So I don't believe that thing. Let's bring our prop down now. This is 2,100 to 2,500. So we'll put it right there in the middle at 23 as well. That should be good right there. I don't know if I've got EGT. Surely we do. Let's check this out real quick. New plane for both of us. Fuel flow, manifold pressure, vacuum ammeter, our pressure is fuel. Turbine inlet, cylinder head. Do we not have an exhaust gas temperature gauge? That's very interesting. I do not know what our fuel flow should be. And I don't think I've got a... Yeah, I don't have anything... procedures on what it should be at this altitude. Yeah, I don't think we have an exhaust gas temperature gauge. Odd. Let me reset myself. Something's weird with the transparency, I've noticed. Move that over here to the left. Alright, so you can see we've got 96 miles to go at about 42 minutes. We're cruising a pretty good speed, 122 knots. I believe 180. If you go over 180, basically, I guess your plane will break apart. What did it say? There's something about 140 knots. Yeah, is the max. As you can see, it moves. I think 146. I want to say is the maximum cruise speed. All right. Well, I'm good with that. Everything looks good. Like I say, I'm surprised we don't have an exhaust gas temperature. I feel like I should lean out just a little more to 60%, so I'm going to drop it. Alright, you can't click that. Sucks, you got to use it that way. So I'll leave that up so everyone can see it during the flight. We'll go ahead and speed on up here. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, everybody, slowing it down to normal speed here. Man, I've been trying to turn these messages off. I was able to do it on the other one. There, it finally goes off. You gotta hold that for a really long time. Alright, let's check ATIS. We're at 2,300 feet, but let's check ATIS real quick. 12515. Are you telling me this doesn't work? It's gotta work. There it goes. That was odd. 12515. Are you serious? I can't move the outer? That makes no sense whatsoever. It's actually moved now. This is odd. Try this again. 12515. There it goes.
Wichita Airport information, Lima 193 Zulu, wind 150 at 11, visibility 10, flight range, sky conditions, few clouds at 4,700, 10,100, scattered, fueling 11,100, broken, thunderstorms in the area, temperature 2.18, altimeter 2979, visual
2979.
right and visual, runway 19 left in use, landing and departing, runway 19 right and runway 19 left.
Obviously, we're not going to use those. Ah, not the window. Alright, so we're 5 miles out here. And here in a second, we'll turn to a heading of 146 to go parallel with our runway. Because we're not using their runways, like I said. By the way, we're at 1,000 feet right here. AGL, it's 1332 for the altitude, so we're at 2,300. So basically 1,000 above. We're a full mixture, high RPM. Cowling flaps are closed. I closed those during the flight. I got a lot of spikes. I've noticed that happening in this flight. I noticed when I installed this plane, it removed buffer pools from my config file, and I actually had to put them back in. I was kind of annoyed by the fact that installing an airplane would mess with my config file, not make me happy. Alright, so ours is going to be over here. It's going to be kind of hard to see. All the wording and everything, that's a bunch of bullshit. Ah, jeez. That's going to be ours right there? Well, it can't be because we're... Actually, I think it is. See, I know we're probably not doing it right because, well, it's a controlled airport. I mean, you wouldn't come in VFR anyway. That's probably us right there. We'll get just a little bit closer. And then we'll break off, like I said, 146 degrees. That's off by about 9 degrees. This is what, 91? So it's off 7? Going over to heading mode. Good old Wichita. I love to come in this way and land a park right over there. So it's a good thing when we came over there with that huge aircraft. Easy to land, easy to park her. 148. 145, 146. Scooch down the seats so we can see a little better. Thunderstorms, man, I like that kind of flying though. So that seems like a more normal to be in the seat right here, but like I don't want to have to switch back and forth between planes. And we'll make our approach 75 to 85 knots, by the way. Alright, what do you say we go 056? Going out kind of a long ways here. I'll slow her down here in a bit. Especially, you know, when you're not used to the aircraft. Because we got kind of far away there. There's ours right there. It's got pappy lights from this side. And here in a second we'll turn left heading 326. Obviously we don't use ATC and can't talk to anybody. Alright, what do you say we go ahead and turn 326? And on the downwind here in a second, we'll start slowing her down. So we won't. I don't want to have to go too far on the base leg. There's been a lot of flickers. I'm not sure why. That's kind of cool. OpenLC, I haven't seen those textures. See, it's kind of weird. And then it's like mixed in with the lightning. See if we can get a little better here on 326. Actually, went to the right a little bit. There we go. She did move over. It might be a little too quick. I mean, we're going to have to make a real quick turn. Be a real short base leg. I really don't know what our altitude should be. Since we're going to come in so shallow. Might have to go a little further out. Especially if we can't get our speed down. Although it's slowly coming down. Alright, so I've got the wrong thing written down. That kind of sucks. I think it should be 236. Flaps coming out at 100 knots. It didn't really hold 1,800 feet, did it? Thanks a lot, autopilot. Yeah, it actually says we're a little low here, which is understandable. We can tell I feel real low. Like I said, it didn't hold at 1,800 either. We need more power. That's why. .146, I believe it is. Autopilot off. We'll take her from here. Reset my views. Looks like we're pretty much on the glide slope here. We're a little on the fast side. really trimmed up. I gotta work on this for a second. Look at that, let off the yoke and she's really coming up. Flaps going to 20. Man, I really gotta push down the yoke just to hold her level. Alright, we're at full flaps, we're coming in high. That's alright. Like I said, I haven't used this aircraft a lot, and I don't understand why we're trimmed up so much. Other than I know we let her get a little slow. So she was trimming up to try and keep that altitude. Back off the power. We're a little off to the left. It's pretty windy out here. Go ahead and retract the flaps. I don't know where the parking areas are. Get away from me, all you spikes and everything. Let's go over there. Late decision there, but that's where we're going. All in all, not too bad. Hopefully, this thing... I was thinking about leaning out. Hopefully, it'll still say we used enough. Let's see. How we use 6 gallons in each tank. That should be good. Stop that recording. Let me get my lights off here that we need off. Go ahead and turn the torpedo heat off. Strobe and landing lights can come off. And we'll taxi on over to our left because yeah, looks like there's jetways in front. Yeah, we recognize some of those buildings over there, so that looks like a more appropriate area for us to park our little plane. Should probably lean her out on the ground. That's kind of one of the cool things about A2A, like if you didn't, it would tell you. You have to service it. Of course, Carenado, they don't get that fancy. I guess we don't have to mess with the transponder since it doesn't actually go into standby. Kind of odd that you can't move the... I don't know why. So they'll let you like tune in numbers and everything, but you can't like put it on standby or anything like that. I notice this thing gets fast, although it's really weird with the joystick on this plane. Just a little bit of power and it goes way up on the power. Yeah, a lot of spikes. I don't know why. That makes me think... I don't know. Because like I say, I wasn't happy that it messed with my config file and took buffer pools out. I put it back in. I just flew earlier today over Myrtle Beach with this plane, the G1000 version. Didn't have any problems whatsoever. No spikes or anything. And now we come over here. It's like Spike City along with the lightning. Alright, let's stop right here. I'm going to get rid of this yoke easier to see. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my taxi light. Hit the parking brake, let FSEconomy grab it. Alright, so that should be good. Alright, I should have opened up the cow flaps while we were taxiing. Alright, but we're good now. So, taxi light is off. Let's see. Transponder, we obviously don't have to mess with. Alright, so throttle goes to idle. We turn off all of our electrics, although I don't think we can actually... We can do that, but I don't think we can turn everything else off, can we? We can turn some of it off. Looks like everything else will have to stay on. But that's all good. So avionics master switch can go off. Mixture, auto cutoff. Ignition goes off. Master switch off. Kind of weird. It doesn't say anything about these kind of switches, but beacon and nav can go off. Now it actually wants cowling flaps closed. Let's go ahead and close those. And fuel selector switch goes into shut off. Sweet. Alright, so let's go over to FSEconomy. It actually looks like raindrops on that. Or is it just pitting, like, use? I guess that's what it can't be, raindrops. Alright, anyhow, let's go over to FSEconomy and get ourselves paid. Alright, everybody, so the job, the original income was going to be $1,704. We rented the plane for an hour and 6 minutes at $217 an hour. It's kind of expensive, but they were all around that area. $239 is our cost on that. We used $51.91 worth of fuel. Paid $170.40 for the ground crew fee. Those came up to $222.31. We got $41.50 back for the bonus, distance bonus. And let's see, it's $160.19 to the group, $11.24 to me. Although it all goes to me because I'm the owner. All right, so banking. I believe I was just checking this out a second ago. We should be around 80,000. So making our way back up, and some other people have been doing some flights too, so that greatly helps. So if you're in the group, thank you for who's been flying. And cause like I said, we want to hopefully buy some more planes in the future. So every bit helps. This wasn't a big paying job for me, but I really wanted to fly that plane. So we'll look for some other stuff, because I was flying that damn Caravan. I can't believe that happened. Flew it twice and didn't get credit for either time, because I'm an idiot. Alright, but yeah. I don't know what we'll fly next. I got some procedures printed out when I went back home for a little while. So we'll fly some more. I'll try to mix it up a little bit, though. Although, like I said, I liked flying them in Air Hauler 2 first, but I may not do that. Just kind of go back on that. But anyhow, that will be it for this episode. I hope you all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.